Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. I hope you guys had an amazing Easter, spent time with family and friends, and we're very grateful. This week we are showing you the final reveal of Matt's office, all of his decor pieces. He still needs a little bit more decor within his bookshelves because he has so many shelves to fill. But we didn't also want it to feel cluttered and just not his style. But you guys will be able to see the transformation of his space, and I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead and get into this week's vlog.
Alright guys, welcome to part 2. Last time you saw us create a custom built-in using some stock Home Depot cabinets and an IKEA countertop. So today we're putting on the finishing touches, starting with these walls. We need to lighten up the space a little bit, so I think the best way to do that is with some artwork. And for that, we've partnered with Desenio. Desenio specializes in providing stylish art and frames for every space at an affordable price. They also offer worldwide shipping in 2 to 4 days, so you don't have to wait forever. The issue I've had with finding artwork in a physical store is that you're limited to what's actually there and could end up settling for something that may or may not work. Desenio eliminates all of that and lets you find the perfect artwork for you from the comfort of home. They have so many prints to choose from, and the catalog is so organized that it was super easy to find a forest print that worked for me. I wanted something that brought a little bit of nature into my moody office, just to lighten it up a little, but I also found much more than that and ended up grabbing a few of their smaller prints and frames to go in a few other spots around my office. So if you're interested, check out the link below or use the code Georgia_Clay for 45% off prints, personalized and canvases excluded. Now that we have the artwork all figured out, it was time to move on to finishing touches. I grabbed 2 of these floating shelves from our last trip to IKEA and screwed them directly into the studs. So I knew we needed something on this big blank wall, and these worked out pretty nice and allowed me to put up a few more pictures and artwork, and I think it gives it more of a homey feel. I went back and forth on what kind of light to put up. I thought about a fan. I looked at some that were more industrial looking, but then I found this light on Amazon for about 150 bucks. I didn't record the assembly process because it was a little awkward, but once I got it figured out, it was just the right amount of industrial and modern, but still kept a classy vibe, I think. I also swapped out my regular light switch for a dimmer switch since this light was dimmable, so I can add a little bit of light without having it on full blast all the time. So yeah, I think it came out pretty good. Now this chair, this was actually the first thing I picked for my office before we even started. It was super comfortable, and I knew as soon as I saw it that I wanted it. So we kind of built the whole office around this chair. I felt like it wasn't too dark brown, it wasn't too light. It was really comfortable, and kind of gave off that a real nice manly office vibe. So that's the kind of look I was going for. And still had kind of a modern base and look as far as the total layout. So I wasn't too worried about it not having arms, since it's an accent chair and it's just nice and comfy enough, but doesn't give off the vibe that you can sit in my space all day. So yeah, I love it. Alright, so I mentioned in part one that I had some trim in mind for the top of the bookshelf. So here's where I'm actually just measuring the front and the sides. And instead of cutting each piece and nailing it up on the bookshelf, I'm actually going to take them outside to do everything all at once and create kind of a crown molding to go up top. So I just decided to write all my numbers down, take them outside, and make all of my cuts, and then put my trim together in one piece, and that way I could just paint it, take it in the house, and then go ahead and go from there. So here I'm just using a combination square to not just make my cut mark, but also my 45-degree mark, so that I can make sure my blade is right on the line where I need it to make that 45-degree cut. Once I made all of my cuts for each side or each bookshelf, I used some 90-degree clamps and wood glue to put them together first in order to keep the seam tight and avoiding having to paint them both up in the air. So once I cut both sides, I just did it I cut them so they would fit about a 1/4 inch above the top lip of the bookshelf. And I was a little bit amazed because it worked out just how I planned, so math does work. And here I'm just using some 1-inch brad nails and they're 18-gauge brad nails. I'm just using those to kind of hold everything together while the wood glue dries. And that really did make everything pretty simple so I was able to just take the whole piece inside, paint it all at once, and then just put it up and shoot my nails in, and that was pretty much it. Just touch up paint after that. So yeah, I prefer doing it this way now, just because you don't have to cut each piece, put each piece up, and then paint the whole thing, trying to stand on a ladder and balance and all that stuff. So it was a lot easier to do it this way. Alright, here we go. So that's pretty much it. You can see my nail holes. I had to actually take the left one down and trim it down a little bit. But yeah, something dawned on me, and I thought, why don't I try to make a monitor riser? Because I think Brittany was trying to look for some for her office. And for some reason, I thought about the end piece that I cut off of my countertop for the desktop, and thought, what if I could make a monitor riser out of that, and then just put some little legs on it. And so that's what I did. So I kind of just used some 2x3 scraps I had in the garage, and used those for my legs. And all I did at that point was kind of just drill some holes, some pocket holes, which it's kind of unconventional to do pocket holes on a short piece like this, but it ended up working out for me. I was able to just screw it straight into the bottom of that little countertop scrap piece, and spray painted the legs black, and boom, there you go. Everything came together pretty good. Now, I'm not one to say keep every piece of scrap wood, but I think in this case it was a cool opportunity to make a little side project to make a monitorizer for myself. It was cohesive because it matched the desktop already because it was the same material, and allows for some storage for my keyboard and mouse if I need to tuck them away. Plus, it's free, so why not? And we are almost done, guys. I just needed to add one more touch to the room to kind of reach my goal of bringing the media room vibe into my office. So I used the same wall planks from the media area here, but did it as more of an accent piece. I knew I wanted a strip, but decided to take it up onto the ceiling a little bit more, just to make it a little bit more interesting. And for me, this was the best part because for me and Brittany, we could truly do what we wanted to do and make it feel like our own individual spaces in our offices. So I'll let you guys watch the last few touches and get ready for the full reveal.
Go ahead.
All right, guys. As you can tell, I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. Brittany's a natural at this. She's gotten really good, so I'm gonna try my best. All right. But this is my completed office. We still need a little bit more work, but like baseboards. I obviously need some more stuff to put on the bookshelves, but so far I think everything is pretty good. So starting over here, we got this hanging plant from IKEA. I think Brittany picked this one out, and then I found this little platform for it to sit on at Target. So that was a pretty good little buy. And then here I have my plaques from work, 5, 10, and 15 years. So they've been sitting in the closet for I don't know how long. So I'm kind of happy to be able to actually show these off now because I've never had an actual office before. And then here, I think I found these on Amazon. But it's a set of 3 books: Grind, Hustle, Success. And you can see I kind of arranged them in kind of steps because those are, to me, the kind of steps you need to get to success. And then I just kind of put that little globe I found at Walmart on top. Nice little touch to bring in the gold touches of my handles for the drawers. And then, what else we got?
And talk about over here.
Yeah, and then in this bookshelf, we have pictures of our trip to Amsterdam. It was our first international trip, actually. And then I kind of put these books up here because it goes with the same theme. So Rome, London, Tokyo. Just
Which you've all been to.
Some of the places, yep, that we've been. And this bike here was perfect because Amsterdam is known for bicycles. Everybody around Amsterdam rides bikes. So I think that was like the perfect touch to kind of bring the pictures and the art together. So moving over here, picture of me and Jalen when he was younger in our first house. So I really like this pic. I've always had it saved, but never actually printed it out. So I'm happy to share that. And me and my grandmother, who passed a little while ago, but I'll always remember that picture. This was my high school graduation from Hawthorne High School in California.
No, it wasn't. It was Etowanda. Because I was with you. Just took me out of the loop.
Etowanda High School. That's how you know I'm getting old, because I can't remember where I graduated from. And then down here, I put 4x6. I just put it on a white piece of paper that came in the frame to make it kind of look like a matted picture. So I think it came out pretty good.
And that was the picture of the kids in London.
Yes. And then over here, I really like how this came out because this is one of my favorite pictures of the girls in London. They're like so photogenic. And then some small prints that we got from Decenio. And I really like this, the olive branch artwork. It just kind of adds kind of like a warm, cozy feel. This was at Disney World during COVID, so we'll never see those kind of crowds again because there was like almost no lines on any ride. So I love that.
We were safe during COVID. Just some people might say, "Why did you go to
If
amusement
I were to
park?"
trust anybody during COVID, it would be Disney. They
Yes.
cleaned everything, immaculate. Everything was perfect, so we had no reason to worry.
And that was the only place that we went to during COVID.
Yeah.
Just to let that be known that we didn't do that.
We were in the house. So that was kind of our one get out. It was a once in a lifetime Disney trip while it was empty.
Yeah. Except for when you guys went to Cedar Point, you and the kids, and you came back, gave me COVID. Like, how does that work? Yeah. I didn't go, and I got
Didn't catch
COVID.
COVID at Disney, but caught it at another park. But anyways, so kind of moving over here. I think I mentioned this chair already. Basically everything kind of revolved around this chair before we started, but I got that from Ashley. This blanket is from IKEA. And let's see, we got this lamp from IKEA. Brittany bought me an old-fashioned book.
He loves old fashions.
Yeah. Old-fashioned has become one of my favorite drinks, so she was thoughtful enough to get that for me. It's kind of like the whole history of where old fashions come from. These glasses here, my mom actually got this and a decanter for me that says Williams, so I really like that. It's a nice touch.
Don't you have another glass too?
Yeah, it's down here.
Okay.
And everything just kind of fits pretty well inside of the cabinet that we got from Costaway, so that's great.
And then this picture was what?
What, this?
Yep.
Christmas.
Christmas this year, our second year.
2022.
Our second Christmas in the house. September will be our second year in the house. And then we took this one recently at the Titanic Museum. And that's Matt's mom and the kids and Matt and me. And we had a good time. That was fun, huh?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And I forget how many good times we've had, so it's nice to have pictures because it reminds you of what you've done. Because if you don't see it, then it kind of just feels like you're just in the same cycle.
Yeah.
So I like that.
It's true. And also reminds us that our kids are spoiled.
Yeah,
because we didn't go to any of these places when we were kids, like whatsoever. So.
Yep.
Yeah. But they're even though they're spoiled though, they're still good kids. So.
Yeah. I like to think they're good humans. So we have our light that I got from Amazon. It has like metal brackets on the outside, so I kind of like that look. Added to me, kind of adds like modern but still classy, kind of in a little bit of industrial look to it. So I really like that one. I kind of like focused in on this light over everything else that I saw.
I also think it helps to soften the space, especially it being like fabric material. So good choice, babe.
Exactly. Yeah, because I almost leaned towards getting something that kind of looked like a cage with light bulbs in it, but it was a little too much too. But this is kind of like a nice touch to the space. And then this, I was a little nervous about it, but I think it came out good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It helps to break up all the black for sure. Yeah. I'm showing this wall. We still have to finish his door.
So we still have to get a door. I'm probably gonna do a barn door on my office, but this kind of helps to break up all the black because it was really, really dark in here. So I thought this was a pretty nice touch, and it gives me the same vibe that I like in the media space. So I'll put a clip in here, but you guys remember the media room, and it's like one of my favorite spots in the house. So I kind of like being able to have that same feeling in my office, and then I can just kind of go out and enjoy that. So I think that was everything.
And then the artwork behind you, another piece from Decenio.
From Decenio.
Very nice. I love that artwork. And then also he can change this too as well, just keeping the frame. And then we could always order another print for the inside if he wants to change it up, especially during the holidays or whenever, or if he just decides that he needs an additional change of scenery, he can do that too.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about changing something to like in the fall, maybe like something with more like orange and red tones in it. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe something snowy for Christmas. But this room has really become like, I don't know, my bat cave, my man cave. I come in here every morning, turn on the news or whatever I feel like watching that morning, get coffee, something to eat for breakfast, and just work. So it's kind of a nice place to be. So now me and Brittany are equal. We're both just chilling and vibing out in our own space. Now I think, I don't know, we don't talk as much as we used to.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's kind of nice because we're not forced to be in the same space. And then we can come together when we're done with work. So
yeah, and it's important to have because we do both work from home. And I think before it was kind of driving us crazy because we didn't have our individual space. Like we would see each other all the time. I mean, imagine working from home. You have a YouTube channel too. But no, all of my friends are pretty much flight attendants now. So it's just different pace of life. And then a lot of Matt's friends are in California as well. So it's just kind of hard, you know, to try to navigate that. But we do have amazing neighbors and we try to get out of the house. But we do a lot of stuff with our kids. Like we're very family oriented. So it's nice to have these spaces where the kids know, hey, this is dad's space, this is mom's space. Leave them alone when they're in there. So it's nice.
Yeah. All right, so I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for coming along for the ride. I think I'm going to turn it over to Brittany to go ahead and finish this video out and do her normal outro. So we'll take it from here.
All right, so I think Matt did an awesome job. Of course, I tried to help him out a little bit by talking outside the camera. Hopefully it wasn't too shaky because I don't do the camera work. But if it was, hey, I apologize. But you know, that's what This Georgia Clay is, to keep you on your toes. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.